What's good, everybody, man? We are live, man. Welcome to the Talking Sports with Manny YouTube channel. So, man, we're going to talk Lakers tonight, man. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of this game. Can you really say that there was a good to this game? But I'm going to break it down. I got a few notes here. So, the Dallas Mavericks defeat the Lakers 108 to 93 as the Lakers fall. The Lakers fall to 35 and 25, and the Dallas Mavericks are now 33 and 26. Now, granted, since Dallas have beaten the Lakers the last two games, Dallas holds the season series. So let's break this thing down. Let me pull up the notes. So pretty much this game was looking very, very promising for the Lakers, and it just took a turn for worse. Luka had a frustrating first half where the Lakers were up. The Lakers were up by 8 points at the time, and the Lakers did a great job by trapping Luka. That's what gave the Lakers the edge. They kept trapping, and everything was looking good for them. Rick Carlisle, he was mad. Luka got that tech. He was being trapped, and I believe the Lakers trapped Luka 12 times in the first half, and that's what really worked. But then the second half, Frank Vogel went away from trapping Luka. Why would you go away from what was working? Then we get on to Andre Drummond. To me, it seems like Andre Drummond's hands are just bad. Like the last few games, he can't catch passes. There's just certain things that Andre Drummond will do that would it will puzzle you. Like he'll try to go up for a dunk, he'll miss that. So he has not looked good at all the last few games. He did have a good game rebounding the ball. I believe he had 12 rebounds tonight. He had 6 points, 12 rebounds, 3 for 5 from the field. But just his hands, his activity. He does get steals, but in terms of finishing sometimes, in terms of getting some rebounds, I don't know. He's just been kind of off to me. There's been a few times, even the last game, he'll try to dunk the ball and just miss the whole thing or just miss badly. He got into it with, what's his name? Finley Smith, man. And, it was interesting because Finley Smith started it, and then Andre Drummond balls his fist, comes up, and then Finley Smith starts to back up. All I'm saying is that if you start a problem, and if you start something, finish it. But it just is what it is. So Finley Smith, he had a good game. Finley Smith, he killed the Lakers. There was 3 guys that killed the Lakers tonight. It was Finley Smith, Powell, and then, of course, Luka. But let's start with Finley Smith. Finley Smith shot the ball 13 times, and he hit 8 of them. So when the Lakers were trapping, he was able to knock some shots down, especially in the second half. He had 21 points, 7 rebounds. I mean, that cannot happen. Max Kleber had a good game, too. I mean, he was 50% from 3. He had 9 points and 10 rebounds. But the the biggest weapon for the Mavericks today was Powell. Powell had 25 points, 9 rebounds. That can't happen. I mean, the dude shot 12 times and made 11 of them. Of course, a lot of them were lobs from Luka. And Anthony Davis and Drummond looked bad together on defense. First half much better, second half terrible. Then the pairing of Gasol and Markieff Morris, when I seen that pairing, I just had no faith that the Lakers were going to win this game. Excuse me. I mean, it just is what it is. Melly, the backup power forward, he did great. Had 6 points, had some big plays for them. Mavericks have a lot of forwards and bigs that can shoot the ball, so that bodes well for them. And then there was no Unicorn, so Unicorn didn't play this game, and we should have taken advantage. They didn't play Boban, so they were pretty much small, except of when Willie Cauley-Stein came in the game. So let's look at rebounds. The Lakers had 36 rebounds to 51 by the Dallas Mavericks. That's the story of the game. You can talk about Lakers missing shots in the second half. The story of the game was we were pounded on the boards. From Powell to Luka to Kleber. They did their thing. 51 rebounds to 36. You can't beat that. Like, what can you say? What can you say? Nothing. In terms of shooting the ball, the Mavericks shot 48%. Lakers shot 38. So, I mean, you can look at that. And then in terms of three-point shooting, which I'm going to get into, Lakers shot 26%, which to me, I thought they were shooting better, but in the second half, they just went cold. So 26% compared to the Dallas Mavericks 43%. Lakers shot 45, hit 12. Mavericks shot 30 and hit 13. So they shot less and made one more three than the Lakers did. So, I mean, those are all big factors to why the Lakers lost this game. Let me get back to my notes. I have a few more things to discuss. So, THT, he plays good, then he plays bad. He makes a good play, then makes a bad play. But I like the aggressiveness. It's just like he needs to do more in order for the Lakers to have success. In this game, not having KCP because of injury, I was expecting Horton Tucker to step up and have a good game. He played 17 minutes, 6 points, had that nice dunk. But outside of that, it seemed like he settled for that three-point shot. He's more of a slasher, but I guess the past few games he's been knocking down that three. So now he has that confidence to want to shoot the three ball. I don't like the THT driving, stepping back to shoot that three. I don't like that at all. So he's definitely got to do better. He didn't have a terrible game, but he didn't have a great game either. Caruso was just solid. He's always solid. 7 points, 4 assists. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he made plays when he needed to. Wesley Matthews gave us nothing tonight. Gasol played 18 minutes, and he had 1.7 rebounds. He was able to kind of make some few plays on offense, but defensively, when you paired Gasol and Morris, just that combo didn't work well. And from what I'm looking at, it just seemed like, Frank Vogel obviously wanted to get the three. Like, let me read this quote by Frank Vogel. So Frank Vogel was asked about Montrezl Harrell not playing tonight, and then he says we need to keep all three centers sharp. He said he was great with it and he understood. So if we had Montrezl Harrell, we'd probably win this game. So that's another factor. So it seemed like to me, Lakers did not necessarily care about winning or losing this game. This is a big game. They needed this game. I'm going to get into the standings in a minute, but it just seemed like the Lakers didn't really care to win this game. In the second half, at the 4-minute mark, I took this note down. Lakers were 4 for 20 from three in the second half at the 4-minute mark, with 4 minutes left to go in the game. That's kind of where the game took a turn. At the end of the third, it was tied up 77-77, and then it just took a turn in the fourth quarter. Lakers just could not score. Scoring was just hard to find, and they were getting destroyed by Powell. Defense was bad. I mean, they just pretty much gave up. They gave up. When you look at the starters, you look at Ben McLemore. In a game where KCP does not play, KCP has been great the last 3 games. So in terms of shooting the ball and things of that nature. So when you're missing KCP's hot shooting, McLemore was able to step in today and help out. Now, the last 3 games, let me give you some numbers on KCP. Game versus Utah, when we won the game in OT, he played 41 minutes. He shot 5 for 12 from 3. Okay, 41%. Then the next game we lost to Utah. He played 29 minutes. He shot 5 for 7 from 3, 71% from 3. Right. Then the last game 2 nights ago to Dallas, he shot 6 for 12 from 3. So he's shooting over 50%. He's made 16 threes. He's made 16 threes during that span, and he deserves some credit. KCP was sorely missed tonight. Obviously, with KCP, you have the 3-point making ability, right? Which he's been really, really good the last 3 games. But then his defense was what was missing tonight. McLemore came in and had a good game. I can't be mad at McLemore. McLemore gave us everything that KCP would have given us, like that same making 5 or more threes. McLemore had a good game. He shot 12 times, made 7 of them, made 6 3-pointers out of 10. So I love that about McLemore tonight. Had 20 points, and we wasted his game. We wasted a good McLemore game. You know, crazy. Dennis Schroeder had 16 points, 10 assists. It felt like Dennis Schroeder could have given us more, but what more could he give us tonight? You have Andre Drummond. You know, came out there 6 points, 12 rebounds. He didn't do enough. He didn't do enough in 30 minutes. 6 points. I know they don't run a lot of plays for Andre Drummond, but it just is what it is. Kuzma was up and down. He had a decent game. He had 14 points, made 4 for 9 from 3. So outside of Kuzma and McLemore, if you remove those two guys, the Lakers really didn't make any threes. You know, you remove Kuzma and McLemore, Lakers make 2 threes. So Lakers were terrible shooting tonight. A lot of the shooting came in that first half. So Lakers lose, and Mavericks have that season sweep right now. Not season sweep, but have the season lead, have the series lead. And when you look at where the Lakers rank, I'm gonna pull up the standings in a minute. NBA is heating up. The main goal is getting AD as healthy as possible. I guess that's the main goal. So right now, the Lakers are in the 5th seed at 35-25. So they still hold on to that 5th seed. But I felt that this was a game that they could have gotten, right, to climb up and pass a team like Denver or tie a team like Denver. But this loss hurts. It hurts the Lakers. I don't care what Vogel has to say about getting AD acclimated. It's like Portland continues to lose, so Portland is probably going to finish, 7 or 8 this year. Memphis is right there. You have Golden State and San Antonio coming, right? But either way that it goes, if the season ended today, Lakers will play the Denver Nuggets. And it's a matchup that you don't mind playing, just for the simple fact that I feel the Lakers match up well. And obviously with Jamal Murray gone, that's a big loss. Regardless of who the Lakers play in the first round, it's going to be a battle. Whether you're playing Denver, whether you're playing the Clippers in the first round, Phoenix, Utah, it's going to be a battle. There's lots of good teams in the West. Make no mistakes about that. But as I look at the standings, Dallas can possibly lock up the top 6 seed. But between Dallas and Portland, I see Portland probably finishing outside the top 6. So wanted to get on here real quick and just talk about this game. Didn't look good at all. Obviously Vogel is having his press conference as we speak, and he's going to elaborate on things that they're trying to do. AD looked okay. When AD got hurt, man, I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, oh man, here we go again. But there was reports that the last game that AD, he was kind of sore. So, moving forward, it's all about getting AD acclimated. I was telling somebody that this guy needs to play. He needs to get in shape and, really, really, really work on his offense and, gel with the team. The guy was telling me, well, AD can just show up right before the playoffs. Well, if AD shows up right before the playoffs or the week of the playoffs, this is honestly what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? It's going to look crazy. He's going to be rusty. So it's going to take him about 10 games to get into game shape. Now I'm like, okay, when is LeBron James coming back? You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's time to get things cooking. It's time to get this team gelling. So, guys, once again, appreciate the support. Be sure to like the video, dislike the video. If you're a Lakers fan, share this with other Lakers fans. I'm going to get on here ever so often and do a Laker pregame show or a post-game show. Kind of want to get on here and dissect the game, some of the things that I saw. Drop in the comments. I want to know, do you think the Lakers are in trouble? Where do you think the Lakers finish this year? And then the last question is, what is the chances of the Lakers repeating as champs back-to-back? Put all those in the comments. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to turn on your notification bell so when I drop new content or stream, you'll be notified. Also, got some fantasy stuff coming. I'll be dropping that very, very shortly. I'm also going to be streaming for the draft. So if you're a Washington football fan, if you're an NFL fan, it doesn't matter. Hop on that stream. It's going to be off the chain. I'm going to have various people hop on the stream and talk about their teams. So yeah, and I also have a link that I'm going to drop in the description if you're interested in playing the game. It's free to play and $250 if you win in merchandise. So you got to guess 6 picks. You can do it for your favorite NFL team. I'm going to drop the link into the description. So guys, once again, this is your guy Manny. Y'all stay safe and y'all be blessed.